Hello guys, Ryan Phillips, and grateful to be coming live from Vancouver, Canada. I'm a mental health advocate to the globe, and in these drastic times, our mental health is of utmost importance, obviously with the COVID virus, rippling the effect of fear to the collective. And so many people are having to isolate. Isolation is, really tough with people that battle depression, as I've battled a lot of depression in my life. And I'm going to give you some coping mechanisms today on how we can, cope during these times of change. It's not all easy, just like life isn't easy. But I am going to answer some questions that have been brought into my awareness. I'm just going to get this screen closed here. If we could close the screen a little bit. Leander, could you help me just close this screen over here? And I'm going to go off my iPad with... just going to go off my iPad here with these questions that have been brought to me. So... hold on, we're just going to get Leander, my assistant, to close the blinds so you can see my eyes. The windows to the soul. Hi, Mr. Ryan. Yeah, good to see you again too. Yeah, I miss you guys. I miss everybody. It's nice that we have technology during these times so we can still connect. It's important. Human connection is very important when it comes to mental health issues as well. We're all here. We all want to be loved. I believe that we come from a source of love, and it's really important to, treat people kind and, just be ourselves, our true selves. Sometimes, a lot of times I call it society illness, as society has bestowed all these, different kinds of paradigms and habitual ways of living that kind of set our mental faculties off a little bit. So I want to tell you guys that if you think that you're mentally ill, you might not be as bad as you think. And I'm going to try to shed some light on that. So the first question is, what is mental illness? What is mental illness? It's obviously such a complex subject. Mental illness is actually defined as it's a mood disorder. It refers to a wide range of mental health disorders that affect our moods, our thinking, and our behavior. Examples include depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, eating disorders, and addictive behaviors. Addiction obviously plays a big part into mental health. Now my story, well, first of all, what are the different kinds of mental illnesses? That's the thing, is there's so many labels out there. We're being labeled left and right. You have bipolar, that means that you're up and down. You're schizophrenic, it means that you're seeing things. You're delusional. You go into psychosis where you're totally out of reality. And a lot of these mental health issues are derived from traumatic instances that we've had in our childhood. I believe that the 99.9% of all mental health issues are derived from trauma, whether it be, in most cases, emotional, where we've been attacked and made to feel less than. And in many cases, it's physical. In many cases, as kids, we were abused, raped in many cases, and that's just the reality. And I think it's beautiful that we can talk about this, because this is the truth, is that we go through traumatic events from the time that we enter into the planet Earth. And, at no greater time do I think, especially in an epidemic like this, as coronavirus, that it shows that we're universally connected. We're all one. And when we're dealing with mental health, it's very important to talk about it. Because if we don't talk about it, we hold it all in. And the next thing you know, we end up with suicides, and it perpetuates. It gets worse and worse and worse. It's like compound interest. So the different kind of mental illnesses, they differentiate, for anywhere from just low mood, feeling depressed, to, absolutely, losing your mind completely, where that's, the schizophrenic person usually. And that usually is accompanied by addiction. A lot of these mental health issues, and there's so many addictions. You could be addicted to your phone. A form of mental, they say that it's not so good for people that are suffering from mental health issues to be scrolling down on Instagram all day and social media. So maybe try to keep that down to a minimum. My mental health story. I consider myself to be a very, very mentally strong human being. We all have to be mentally strong just to survive in this world. But I had some relationship losses. I was abused as a child. There was a lot of things that played into my story as far as, with trauma. I was in organized crime in Canada. I'm no longer in that. I'm a mental health advocate, a humanitarian, which I hate that word. I said that many, many times. I love the word good human, and I try to be that every day. And we can only do the best we can to give people love and kindness and compassion. And compassion is what's needed the most when it comes down to somebody who's suffering in the head mentally, is that they need to be comforted and understood. So it's the misunderstood that need to be understood. And, we're all affected by this. If there's someone who's suffering from depression in your family, obviously that affects others, the loved ones that care. And I've seen that firsthand on a wide demographics of, obviously, it was news in Canada and North America. I rode my bike across Canada and 4 other countries last year to advocate mental health awareness. I'm not saying that you have to go ride your bike in an extreme way like I do across big countries, but I'm so passionate about it because I've seen so many people suffer from mental health issues, and I really wanted to inspire people that, let's say myself, who has been labeled bipolar, depressed, or whatever, could get on a bike and cross the second largest landmass in the world this past summer, and 4 countries in Asia last year. And the response has been great. There's been great opportunities through the chaos of, battling my mind. And, battling your mind is not an easy thing to do. Taking control of your mind is something that is obviously the ultimate test. And it's like the mind can be the devil's workshop. An idle mind, I say, is deadly. And so spending too much time in isolation can be really, really a challenge because you're just sitting in your head. So I think, if you're feeling off, some of the best things to do is pick up the phone and call a friend, call someone that cares. I guarantee you there's somebody that cares about you. I care about you. I care about you a lot. I love you a lot, guys. MD, Imran Hussein. Hey, Ryan, what's up? What's up, man? How you doing? I hope your mental health is going good these days. I hope your health is well, and I'm sending much love to your family. Your loved ones. I'm sending much love to the planet right now. This all has to do with mental health. And I said this, I projected this from the beginning. This COVID-19 virus is probably going to take more people out mentally because of depression and other diseases than the actual disease of corona itself. As it is obviously it's serious, but it's a serious flu. Having mental illness makes people sometimes lose their mind where they want to take their lives, and that's been happening. The economic downfall has caused a ripple effect of fear because people are not able to make a living now because they're being segregated. So that's causing obviously mental stress. Stress affects our whole physiology and our whole biochemistry, which sends us into either the fight or the flight center of the brain. That is actually a part of the brain called the amygdala, which is about an almond-shaped size organ that is the seat of our emotions. Now, when that is vibrating on a certain frequency, of say fear is a low vibration. that obviously causes a ripple effect of panic, fear, all these, these feelings that are just like really, really intense that a lot of people are feeling right now. So do I feel exhausted sometimes? How do I cope with my challenges? Do I always have to stay positive and happy because I'm a mental health advocate? Or can I be real? Well, you want me to be real with you? Is that I would say 75% of the time I'm a pretty easygoing, happy-go-lucky guy. Yesterday I had a bit of a breakdown. I had to go lay down for a half an hour and take a time out. My head felt like it was on fire. Being a mental health advocate and putting myself out there, I get a lot of phone calls. I have a lot of people that are reaching out constantly, asking me questions, and little do they know, I'm still battling my own demons. I'm battling my own mental issues as well. So it's something that's it's definitely twofold. That I don't have all the answers. I'm not a psychiatrist, although I have been studying psychology for 15 plus years. I'm I do a lot of research on obviously depression. Why do people get depressed? I think a lot of it comes down to self-love. Now, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect to love other people? So when I'm feeling down, I realize that it's something internally that I'm battling, that I have to look at myself in the mirror and say, everything's okay. I take a couple of deep breaths, 3 or 4 deep breaths, in with the positive, out with the negative. And I really try to ground myself and stay centered. And that's why I believe meditation is a huge component to, connecting to your source. And it alleviates a lot of physical symptoms, relaxes the body, relaxes the mind, and just gets you into a point of well-being, so to speak. In the country of Bangladesh, mental illness is a taboo. Yeah. If you see a psychiatrist, it's a shame, and people consider you crazy, insane. In the future, families will face hurdles, like getting married. What do I do? So any country that has a taboo over mental illness, I think in these days, people are starting to open up and realize that the severity of that if we don't address our mental issues, we can die. And we'll be watching more people die around us because they can't cope with reality. And reality is in the here and in the now. So my advice to you when it comes to anxiety and also even talking about your anxiety and your mental issues and being judged. No one wants to be judged. And, to judge somebody is to judge yourself, as I do believe that we're all one. So I'm kind of getting off topic here. I think the best thing to do really is just to be honest always. Number one, honest. If you're honest with yourself and you're honest with your loved ones and they really care about you and you're honest with your friends, then, they can take the necessary precautions to get you the right help, as a lot of people get on the right different kinds of medications that don't benefit them. I was prescribed lithium for my supposed bipolar, which I now believe I don't have bipolar. I've just gone through some difficult times of trauma that's caused depression that I fight on a daily basis with trying to be positive. You don't have to be positive all the time. It's impossible to be positive all the time when there's negative things going on from our perception in our mind. So I find that a lot of people that are suffering from mental health issues are very sensitive people too, that pick up on other people's energy. So that's why they have a tough time being around large crowds. This whole social distancing for people that suffer from mental illness probably isn't such. It's probably not the easiest thing in the world because isolation is so prevalent. So in Bangladesh, it is said that if you go to a psychiatrist with a minor issue, The psychiatrist will give you such a high dose of medicine that you'll become crazy for real. So it's better to not go to a psychiatrist. What do I do? Well, first of all, I do believe in natural-based plant medicines. Okay? I believe in natural, attacking everything natural with, good nutrition, obviously, exercise, and, meditation is key. But at the same time, if you are suffering on such a high level and you really, I believe these meds are made to numb you and to numb you from your feelings, and we are feeling beings that are driven on our emotions. I think you really got to question sometimes if these pharmaceuticals are actually a benefit or a detriment to your physiology, to your mental faculties. Are they going to make you more crazy? For myself, I have to be honest. I took pharmaceuticals off and on for 7 years for anti-anxiety pills. Then for about a month and a half, I took lithium while I was riding across Canada. Lithium is actually a salt that comes from Bulgaria, and it actually was bleeding through my skin, and I had to visit many hospitals along the way because it actually made whatever I was going through worse. It gave me more anxiety, and I was losing weight. My libido went down, and that's the truth. So we have to be very careful what we put into the machine that runs this, the vessel that runs this. Everything's all connected. So, any sort of chemical that we're putting into our biochemistry of our body is obviously going to have ramifications. And yeah, there's been obviously people that take well to antidepressants, but for myself, I've never, I haven't had a lot of success with antidepressants. I've had more success with hanging out with like-minded people, trying to stay active, and not trying to be so hard on myself, because when I lost a lot in my life, my self-esteem went down, and it was like everyone else believed in me, but I didn't believe in myself. And if you can't believe in yourself, then your life's going to kind of take a downward spiral, and that's what happened to me. So I went from here to here real fast while watching other people that I grew up with and that we're friends with and was in business with even thrive and be happy and have wonderful relationships and whatnot, and then all of a sudden I feel all alone. I've lost everything. I start victimizing myself, and that just obviously just made things worse. It just perpetuated the depression, perpetuated my emotions, and my gut was not feeling so good. My gut and my head, like I said, the gut, the heart, and the head. There's 3 brains. Brain here, brain in the heart, brain in the gut, and that's your intuition. And when you've gone through a lot of trauma and have beaten yourself up or been abused by other people, all those meridians, those energy meridians, if they're not aligned and well, then it makes it very difficult for people that have these issues to transition into the present moment, which is all we have is the eternal now. So we got some other questions here. I am an extrovert and I'm going crazy over this quarantine. This is too stressful. And I often feel sad, angry, and cranky. How do I cope with COVID-19 lockdown? Well, for myself, I try to get as creative as possible. I'm blessed to have very creative people that care and look out for my well-being. And they know that I'm sensitive, but they also know that I'm talented enough where I can put out video content because I'm very passionate about film, giving back with service. My definite purpose in life is world service. So being locked down with this COVID-19 is actually giving me an opportunity to kind of reach out to people and try to hit more demographics with people that are suffering from, say, mental illness, personal growth, even, how we can all benefit in these times of drastic crises. So what do we do? I think for everybody it's different. There's a lot of people, unfortunately, with addiction problems that are drinking a lot right now because they can't cope with their emotions. people that are all alone with no family around. It's my heart goes out to everybody, because everybody is different, dealing with this COVID virus in their own unique way. But we have to, I think, in my mind, we have to almost look at it as it's, even though we're separated, it's still bringing us closer. And it's almost like the planet is pissed off because we've done so much damage to not just the planet, but to other people. It's like the planet is starting a war with humanity, almost giving us a virus that to wake ourselves up, to level up, almost, that we're all equal. Nobody's better than anybody else. Celebrities, they're not immune to this. Sports stars, anything. We're all the same. We could all get it today. I might have it. Right now I feel super healthy, and I'm really, happily to be engaged, with this audience. But at the same time, you never know. You never know. Life is very unpredictable as it is. So that's why I think it's really, really important to write a gratitude list down and have faith. Have faith that things are going to work out for the better, and really, really be mindful in the present moment, which has been a struggle for me. When I get into a panic attack or when I have anxiety, I tend to lose things. I misplace keys. It's like I feel like somebody hijacked my brain sometimes, like a 3-year-old scribbled on it with a crayon. Due to the corona lockdown, most people are spending time with family, which may sometimes lead to domestic violence and abuse. How can we deal with that? Well, I saw that firsthand actually a few days ago, a fight in a household with a mom and a son, and there was a disagreement. One side thought one side wasn't listening, the other side didn't understand the other side. But at the same time, this is a younger guy, and mom just can't understand obviously where he's at right now. It's this, just like mental illness and mental health situations, this coronavirus is just as complex. We don't even really know how bad this is going to get. So I think the best thing we can do is just really try to be there for our family members. And when someone acts off and is going, a little bit off the rocker, so to speak, is that they're just dealing with their inner, they're dealing with what they got going on inside themselves. And a lot of it is just fear-based. It's fear-based, and it's the not knowing. It's the uncertainty of how big is this virus going to get. It's something to be we're all questioning it on a moment-to-moment basis. And what I found, even with a lot of my friends, is that they're sleeping in, where these people usually, they're very productive people that would get up and go about their day. And what this is doing actually is habitually kind of created some bad habits with people, because we're obviously we're creatures of habit, and having a daily reprieve, a daily plan where you get up, have your shower, go to work, or do whatever you have to do. A lot of those have been we're gonna have to start developing some new habits, but we're in a changed world now. The old world is gone. The old world is done. This is a new world, and there's all kinds of conspiracy theories we could go into, but the fact of the matter is that we're all in this together, even though we're segregated, and we're gonna have to wait this out and ride this out. And that's why it is so important to stay mentally strong in any way possible. Due to the corona lockdown, no, we just went through that. I feel like I don't have a true friend, and everyone around me is fake or fake for some kind of advantage. I feel lonely. Any tips? Okay, well, tip number 1, if you feel like the person's fake, well, dump them or her, and surround yourself with positive people. Everything's energy. So the energy that we pick up from other people is very important for our mental and physical health. And if you're not surrounding yourself with mentally people that want to see you do well in life and see you happy, then it's really important to distance yourself from that person and be honest. Like I'm sorry, I can't handle your negativity, and it's not doing me any good, and I have to set boundaries, and it's all about setting boundaries and doing it in a calm way where you're not hurting the other people's feelings, but being real. Right now, where we're not seeing eye to eye, and I'm sorry, I just can't really be around this your energy right now is conflicting with my energy, and it's not working. So letting people off the hook easy, without trying to hurt feelings, is of utmost importance. If I get super bored during lockdown, what do? Get creative. That's all I can say. Get creative. If you like to write, write. If you like to draw, draw. If you like to do push-ups, do push-ups. If you like to do listen to music, listen to music. If you like to write music, write music. If you like to have a YouTube channel, work on it. Do something and really, really try to keep that mind busy, because I firmly believe, obviously, the idle mind is deadly, and it's the devil's workshop when you're not using it. You got to use these creative faculties. They were given to us by God, or whoever you make your God out to be. We have a brain to use. If you're not using your brain, well, then we can find ourselves in some pretty sticky situations. Then you become a prisoner of your own mind. And speaking of that, someone told me that when I was in a really sticky situation one day that opened up my mind, is that even though you're in a prison, doesn't mean that you have to be a prisoner of your own mind. So I find that to be quite a important thing to kind of ponder, is that you don't have to be a prisoner of your own mind. Always reach out. Here in Canada, they have 1 day for it's called Bell You Talk. Let's Talk, it's called. Now, I think 365 days of the year should be an open discussion about mental health. Every day should be a day about, why 1 day when we talk about our mental health? Like, every day should be mental health awareness and physical awareness. I feel like hurting myself after my last breakup. I don't like myself. I feel very ugly and low self-esteem. Any advice how I can feel better? I think that breakups suck, because when you lose something, a special somebody, it's almost like a piece of you has been ripped away. So I think self-harm is the worst thing that we could even explore, and always know that things happen for a reason, and that there's somebody waiting out there for you, and you'll come together at the right time when you're open to that. And it's all about relationships, and it's give and take. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and it's best to get out of the relationship before it gets really bad. So don't we all want to be in good relationships? And if we're doing good in the world, I think we all deserve to be in a good relationship. Just like I was saying last night to a friend of mine, I said, behind every man is an even greater woman. And I really, truly believe that. Relationships are beautiful. And I think that's one of the reasons that we're here, to form relationships. We don't have relationships, but we have, but it all starts with the relationship that we have with ourselves. You have the relationship with yourself right, everything starts to kind of fall into place. I'm drinking my morning coffee, by the way, from McDonald's. Excuse me. I hope I'm giving you some good information here. Okay, I lost my father, and I can't concentrate on anything. I can't eat properly, and I had an academic year loss. I'm frustrated. Well, my advice to you is, what would your father want you to be doing? I believe, obviously, that you're born into this world. We come into this world. We're alive, and then we die. And if it was my father that passed away, say tomorrow, I would want to carry on his legacy of love and giving back and being a good person. I know it's frustrating. You know, any death, any loss is obviously frustrating, but sometimes it's the acceptance of letting go. And once we let go, we let in. So it's coming to a place of acceptance that we come and we go. Friends come, friends go sometimes. That's why it's important to cherish. Every moment is sacred. Truly, I believe that. I failed the board exam and my family keeps blaming me. I don't know what to do. I can't pursue my career choice with such low grades. My dreams are shattered. Well, I believe that we can create our own dreams and we don't have to just live for our family. Our family can judge us in one way, but you know what? Sometimes things happen. Sometimes life takes a different turn. It's very unpredictable. So, you know what? Never give up on your dreams. If you have a dream, you write that dream down and you make that your dominating subconscious just desire and go after it. You know, dreams are to be created and fulfilled, and it's the journey. It's the journey, not the destination. Enjoy the journey. My advice to stay mentally fit. Read lots. If you're not a talker, be a texter and stay active with, at least post positive things on social media. You know, social media is slammed in our face today. So, I think it's, really important, obviously, just to, stay socially interactive with people. And it's tough right now, I know, but it is what it is. It's very unnormal for us. We're having to adapt. We're having to, we're having to sustain our resilience. We need to be resilient through these times. I don't know why I always feel down. Is that normal? I think it's totally normal in these days. We live in a world that demands a lot from us. So if we're putting stress and pressure on ourselves, of course we're going to feel down. So we need to find people in our life and stick to those people, or watch certain programs and YouTube things and all kinds of stuff, and just do whatever you can to lift your mood up. And it is normal, and you are normal. No matter whatever you think, you are enough. I want you to know that. Why do celebrities feel depressed even after living a seemingly perfect life? Well, I've been in the spotlight in my life. When I was younger, I was, professional hockey, and I've done a lot of speaking around the world. I'm not as well known as I used to be, but I know that no amount of money, no amount of fame, and whatever's on the outside that looks so good, give me that responsibility thing. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's what's inside that counts, and they're just human beings like us too. We're all human, and just because you're better looking in somebody's eyes, I believe that everybody's beautiful, and it all starts with the heart. So celebrities have hearts too. Celebrities suffer. Fame isn't a cure to feeling happy. Fame isn't an antidepressant solution, and just being yourself, your true authentic self, and being kind to others is I think one of the most amazing things that you can actually do. And just having responsibility. This is a little thing that I wear around my neck about responsibility, and my responsibility to humanity is just to be kind, have compassion, and just to do the best I can in every moment of my life, and really enjoy it and try to celebrate my life. And you got to do what you got to do. And I want you to know that I'm here for you. If you want to add me to Instagram, you can private message me anytime, and I can give you some messages back, and whatever you need. I'm here to help. So I do have it. My Instagram handle is at Ryan Phillips Warrior. So it's obviously RyanPhillips Warrior, WARRIOR. So Ryan Phillips Warrior. I'm going to type it in right now so you have it. Here we go. Right? All right, so now you have my Instagram, and I would love for you to follow me on Instagram. And I have a YouTube channel that I just started, and I'm going to be doing a lot of mental health talks on there for forever. I'm committed to being an advocate for mental health for the rest of my life because I've dealt with it, with the addictions, with all that. So to everybody's mental health, I wish you nothing but the best of a day or evening there, morning here. I wish you health, happiness, love, and through these times, I know it's hard. We're all going to get through this if we stick together, and we will get through this. And I think we're going to come out stronger. And I think that mental health is going to be more accepted on a global spectrum after this virus has been, quarantined and exonerated, so to speak. So God bless. I love you. Peace.
Cool.
Hello, Ryan Phillips. Thank you for tuning in today and watching my call to Bangladesh about mental health. I would appreciate it if you follow me on the YouTube channel below, and on Instagram I'm at Ryan Phillips Warrior. Thank you very much.